What is up, everybody? I'm No Lux Given here with your afternoon snap, and today we saw that my opponent had the Never Lucky title. That's because we're going to be having all of the luck in this one. I'm playing Hela today because Morag is still the featured location, and I think Hela works really well when you're not able to play cards in locations. This game we actually have two lockdown locations. We're going to get Morag as location number 3, and our first location there is Miniaturized Lab. So we're really going to be congested for space, but that can still work out fine when you're playing a Hela deck. So first off, I'm thinking about playing Lady Sif, but I don't want a 50-50 to discard the Hela, so I'm going to go for Swordmaster. I'm not playing Invisible Woman in this list, as you can see. I just kind of fingers crossed and hope everything works out. Swordmaster discards Jubilee, as my opponent reveals a Mr. Fantastic and a Psylocke, and it's actually pretty good for us because we don't really have the space for Jubilee anyways. So I'm fine with discarding that, and then I will play a Moon Knight on turn 4. My opponent's going to snap, and I snap back because I'm already infinite for the month, so who cares? Let's play for some more cubes and make it a fun one. But this is a really cheeky play by my opponent because they had Psylocke on turn 2 with Lemuria. They actually have 5 energy this turn, and that lets them forge plus brood into Morag for 14 power to start the game off there. And unfortunately, Moon Knight discards my Hela. So, not looking great for us. I'm going to play Magic into Lemuria, give us an additional turn to try to figure some stuff out with this game. But yeah, we're definitely going to need some help. We're going to need a little bit of luck, in fact. We turn that center location, Lemuria, into Limbo, and then I draw Ghost Rider. Just the luck that I needed. So this turn I'm going to play Lady Sif because we can guarantee discard Magneto. And then next turn I'll play Ghost Rider, hope to reanimate Hela. It'll be a 1 and 3. It could also hit our Jubilee or this Magneto that we're about to discard right now. But if it hits that Hela, then there's a chance we could still win. It's all a little bit silly. We gotta get a little bit lucky, but like I said, I'm already infinite, so what else are we playing for at this point other than some funny highlights? I am gonna skip ahead a little bit. I actually will say that I got a little bit afraid that my opponent would play a Storm into Limbo this turn. But if they were to do that, they would only go up to 10 power there, and they would lose in Limbo, which means they would lose to me playing just a bigger card than them in the Miniaturized Lab, which is why I think that they didn't go for it. But it was definitely a line of play that could have just ended the game for us terribly, and based on how long they thought about it, I think that they did indeed have a Storm there. They're instead going to go Bast into Adam Warlock to draw an additional card, so that'll hopefully give them some nice tools for the final turn, and then we're just going to play Ghost Rider on the final turn. I'm going to play Ghost Rider and then Blade. That way it's a 1 and 3 to reanimate Hela. We won't be reanimating this Giganto then because of that, but I think that this is just a little bit safer, and I think that if we're reanimating a Jubilee and a Magneto alongside that Hela, then we should have enough power that it doesn't really matter if we don't reanimate this Giganto as well. So I just went with this a little bit safer. Let's see how it goes. My opponent's going to flip over a Rogue plus a Silver Surfer. Rogue not stealing anything, just a 3-cost card, and Ghost Rider gives us Hela. Of course it does, because we're looking at the game, and I got super lucky in this one. Jubilee gives us Death, and then Magneto wins Morag for us. So really sweet game, but this was immediately karmically balanced out by my very next game on the ladder. I've got Hela and Ghost Rider in my opening hand. Morag is location number 1, and on turn 2, we're going to see Sinister London, and I'm going to draw Blade. So I gotta go for it here. I run out Blade, and yeah, we get the worst luck possible. That's going to discard my Ghost Rider and my Hela, so I'm out of there. Here's one last game for fun, and this game is going to feature Elysium. No Morag in this one, so definitely a little bit of a different feel, and Elysium is actually an interesting location with this deck. It's going to reduce the cost of those bombs at the top of your curve, so you can actually play one on turn 5 and turn 6, and add a lot of power to the board in that way. But there's no way we're going to be able to play Death, so I'm willing to Lady Sif that away until I realize my opponent's playing a Destroy a deck. And now I'm kind of hoping that Lady Sif lands on Magneto, because Death is just going to get cheaper as long as this game goes on. But unfortunately, that does discard our Death. It's fine. We'll be able to reanimate it with Ghost Rider still, and maybe we can find some other big cards at the top of the curve for us. And speaking of big cards at the top of the curve, before I play the Ghost Rider, figure I'll roll with this Jubilee, see what we can find, give my opponent a little bit less information maybe with the Ghost Rider. My opponent plays a Killmonger, so Death would have been totally free and will be totally free for my opponent. But we've still got some power here because Jubilee is going to drag out the Infinite, giving us a lead in Elysium. And we'll also be able to take a lead into the sewer system because we're going to Ghost Rider out that Death this turn. So we're definitely no slouch in this game and have some reasonable options to win this thing, attacking my opponent on a few different fronts here. Now, they're going to be playing a She-Hulk, which gives them a lead again in Elysium. But we still have a lot of power, and we draw Hela, which also gives us a lot of options here. My plan initially was to just Magneto and then play like another 6 power card the next turn or play a few discard cards. Now, with this Hela draw, I'm kind of changing up how I want to roll with this, and I'm thinking we could just go Moon Knight this turn, and then if we discard Hela, we'll have to retool or something. But Moon Knight also allows us to disrupt my opponent's hand a little bit. Now, turns out we're not actually going to disrupt my opponent at all because they're going to dump their whole hand here. So they've got no cards in hand and they've waived us, but wave doesn't really work when it's an Elysium game. We're still going to get to play 2 cards this turn, and we still get to play 2 really good cards. Swordmaster takes over Elysium, putting us up to 27, and Magneto wins the sewer system and Central Park, dragging either Wave or Deathlock out of that location and giving us a win there. So my opponent rips a Yondu off the top, they play it into the sewer system, and we're going to be able to grab a cosmic victory for this one. So really sweet game, I thought, and that is going to be it for me today, guys. So thank you very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace.